Hey everybody, Kevin here, and here's a little something for your performance edge as we continue through separation season. And today we're talking about the separation audit. Now, I challenge you at the beginning of this to kind of do the whole spokes of your life and to look at each one of those. And today we're going to audit them. This is kind of the inventory of your current habits and your energy leaks that go with each of those areas. Now, there's obviously habits that come along for the ride on each one of those spokes. And if you've been evaluating them and if you've been picking your key three, this is where it comes to life. This is where it gets real or you confirm it. And in this process of doing that, you are looking for the habits, the relationships, or the roles that no longer align with the person you want to become. This is important. I'm going to say it again. So this is the habits or the relationships or the roles that don't align with where you're heading and what you want to accomplish or what you're becoming or moving towards. I had this a few years ago. I was 59 years old at the time. I was in a mastermind group, and we were challenged in our mastermind group into separation season. And in the process of going through that, it was really beginning. My spokes had a whole lot to do with my physiology. And the person that I wanted to be wasn't who I was at the time. I was not an example of the thing that I was becoming or working towards. And there were definitely habits. I had relationships with food. I had relationships with habits that were coping mechanisms for things in my life. I had to deal with some issues. There were also roles that I had, in terms of who I was leaning into in my role that affected these things in terms of my physiology. It was a big factor for me, which led me to lose 70 pounds and to get a trainer and get into a weight room and move beyond. But if I had not done the separation audit, had I not done that level of just really getting clear about why I need to change and what were those things, it's kind of funny. The more intimate I was with the habits, the more intimate I was with the relationships and the causality that came from the roles and all the things that went with it, it just became way more relevant in terms of the changes that I needed to make. And so that was a big deal. And so what are your 3 separation targets? What are those things that you're going to release and redefine? Where am I going to? So I want you to make a list. Hey, I'm going to release this. So when you look at the habits, I'm going to release this habit. I'm going to release this habit. I'm going to release this habit. I'm going to release this relationship. And relationships aren't always people, by the way. So I want you to understand, when I start thinking about all the things I'm going to release, the roles, these things that I put myself into that I needed to be in order to have something. I needed food to comfort me. The role of food was comfort. And there was all kinds of things. It was a stress thing. And I needed that because my role required me to be, this whole thing. And it was stressful. And so all of a sudden that role required that habit and that relationship. There was just so much that was tied into it. And it's like tentacles. And it's wrapped around you, and you're now breaking away from it. Get very real about it. What are those separation targets? What am I going to release? And then at the next part, what am I going to redefine? If I'm going to release something, I'm going to redefine it. If I'm going to release this area, I'm going to redefine it over here. So your homework now, in this part of separation season is, hey, what am I going to release? And what am I going to redefine? And begin that step this week. Next week, we get into the identity drift and identity design. And that's another huge invisible behind all this. But for right now, hey, separation audit, dig in, get after it. And you're going to discover a whole lot of invisibles in that because, invisibles are kind of a sword that cuts both ways. Invisibles can help you, and there's a lot of invisibles that can hurt you. And sometimes when we start looking at those things in our lives and examining those things, we start going like, hey, that's not taking me where I want to go. That's kind of hurting me in a way. And so, yes, it's an invisible, and I see that invisible, which is powerful. That's important. But now I need to now I'm going to rethink this. I'm going to redefine this. And I'm going to move in that direction and begin to align my decisions in light of it. So with that said, this is work. Do due diligence. I need you to share it with people. I need you to go to somebody and say, hey, these are the things that I'm stepping away from. I'm releasing these things. These are the things I'm redefining towards. Say it out loud because it will anchor it more in your heart, in your mind, and put you in that action mode because it's coming. We're going to get into that whole idea of where are we going and how are we going to get there. But it's coming. That's month 2. That's when we get in December. But that's where the disciplines kick in. But right now, hey, our awareness is highest that it's ever been. We're leading full on. So, hey, stay after it. Do some damage. And always remember this. See the invisible, you become unstoppable. Take care, everybody. Hey, shoot me questions if you have any. I'll shoot you an email right back. Take care.